One thing that can elevate any piece of meat and bring your dish to another level is a pan sauce. Rich, decadent, and creamy is delicious. And today we're making a pan-seared pork chop with a pan sauce. You'll need about a teaspoon of flour, 1/4 cup of minced shallots or onions, about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm using salted butter, and keep the butter cold until you need it. 1 cup of chicken stock, or you could do half a cup of chicken stock, half a cup of white wine, and some form of acidity, either a lemon or a lime. I prefer limes. For our meat, I got some beautiful center cut bone-in pork chops, which we tempered, which just means we took the meat out about 20 minutes before we plan on cooking it so that meat can come up to room temperature, which is going to allow it to cook more evenly and faster, and it won't drop the temperature of your pan like it would if you threw a piece of cold meat into a hot pan. For the seasonings, I'm keeping it pretty simple, basic even, just some cracked black pepper and some kosher salt, which is really all you need. All the flavor and magic is going to be in that sauce. But I mean, you can add whatever you want or season these however you want, and I'm seasoning both sides. Today I got my stainless steel pan, which I've been heating over medium-high heat for about 30 seconds. And when I'm using stainless steel, I like to do the water test to see if it's hot enough. If the water immediately evaporates, it's not hot enough. But instead, if it forms these little water beads, you know you're good to go. Your pan is hot enough. Then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of oil. Once that's nice and even, I'm going to go down. I'm going to start rendering that fat on the side of that pork chop a little bit. Then I'm going down with those pork chops, and these are kind of thin, so I'm only doing 2 minutes per side. After that first 2 minutes, we're going to give this a flip. We got a nice little sear going. That pork chop looks great. Then we're going to put this down another 2 minutes. 2 minutes later, our pork chops look great. If you're going to temp them, you want them around 140 to 145 degrees. Now, very important, place these on a tray or a plate and let them rest while we make our pan sauce. Now, the same pan with all those little crusty bits, that's pure gold. We got our pan over low heat. If there's not enough grease in the pan, you can add a little bit of oil, which is what I'm going to do. Then you're going to throw in your minced onions or shallots, whatever you decided to go with. We're going to cook these about 4 minutes until they're nice and soft. Also, I'm not going to add any more extra seasonings here. There should be enough seasonings and flavor in that pan. Plus, I'm using the salted butter and the regular chicken stock, which also has salt in it. And the few times that I made this before, I found that the balance and flavor is really good at the end without adding any extra salt here. If anything, maybe just some cracked black pepper would be good. Once our onions are beautiful brown and soft, we're going to add in that flour. Cook that for about a minute. Then add in your liquids. Like I said earlier, you could do half a cup of white wine and half a cup of chicken stock. Today, I'm just going with 1 cup of chicken stock. And that's mainly because I didn't have the white wine, but that's okay. Cooking is about using what you got on hand. It's about using what you have on hand, using what you got. You know, don't ever be afraid to get in the kitchen and try new things or get in the kitchen and improvise. Use a metal whisk and scrape up all those bits on the bottom, mix that flour in with that chicken stock. Then we're adding in, well, squeezing in half of that lemon or lime. And now you can add in whatever herbs you want to use. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of thyme. Mix those in and then let this reduce for about 5 minutes on low heat. Then little by little, we're going to mix in 2 tablespoons of cold butter. Now, once all your butter is mixed in, this should be ready to serve. But before you serve, now would be a good time to taste for seasonings. Make sure it's to your liking. Thick enough, creamy enough, salty enough. If you feel like it needs a little bit more salt or butter, you can adjust it to your liking. After all, you're the one that's going to be eating it. Mine was pretty good, so let's serve them. Let's get this sauce over those pork chops. I'm serving mine with some white rice, some sweet corn, some peas, and of course that cornbread. A little bit of sauce. Well, actually a lot of bit of sauce right over those pork chops. And let me tell you, this was so good, out of this world. And I do hope the next time you make pork chops, you think about making this super easy pan sauce for those pork chops. All right, everyone, that's it for me. That's it for this video. That's it for me in this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.